So yeah, thank you for coming today, Hollie.
Thank
so
you
nice
for
to
having
see
me.
you. Like you said, long time no see.
I know, we just saw each other like, what, Friday?
Yeah, ooh, I don't even know.
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday, something.
Because
Yeah.
we're going to be doing a fundraiser together.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a fundraiser with you for
Lovely.
my book launch, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, well, before we get into all that fun stuff, how was your day?
It was good. So yesterday I turned 31.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I am entering a new chapter of my life.
You're a Libra queen.
Libra queen.
Oh my god, I love Libras.
Thank you.
I have like so many Libras in my life.
We're pretty
So
great.
many. Yeah, you guys are. It's all about balance and all about harmony
Exactly.
and justice and freedom, like
And love.
And love. You guys love deeply, like hard. Because my sister Rachel, my oldest, is a Libra, and then her husband's a Libra, and then my best friend Cleanthe, her birthday's today.
Oh my gosh.
She's a Libra, and so I just feel like they're everywhere, and I love that. I'm
Me
I'm
too.
here for it.
Me too.
Yeah. The only thing is though, is that I'm a Sagittarius. And so fire and air sometimes don't mix. So I feel like sometimes I can really aggravate or like trigger a Libra, and then they can do the same for me because they add like the wind, you know what I mean? But it's all good.
Well, I think you're probably one of my newest favorite people in Sarnia, so we don't have that problem.
That's so sweet. Oh, they're so sweet. Thank you for saying that. I feel the same way about you. When we met, it was like kismet. It was like, oh my God, I could talk to this woman forever.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
Absolutely.
I really like that. So yeah, like I know that we talked about like briefly about spirituality and all that kind of fun stuff. But I know that it takes a lot of courage for you to do what you do with the Sting.
Totally.
So I don't know if you want to like chat about that. 'Cause I would love
we
to.
can get into it. I work part-time for the Sarnia Sting. I'm a game day host, and I was kind of in a weird time of my life before I got that job. I was working full-time at Needham's Marine, so in the marine industry, male-dominated industry.
Oof, that's hard.
Definitely a challenge, but I still needed something else to do. And for a while I was working in the service industry, but I thought this isn't right. Like long hours,
It's hard.
you're burning
man.
out,
It's
you're
hard.
sick. It just wasn't working, and I was like, well, how do I find a full-time or a part-time job while still working full-time that is going to fulfill me, make me feel good about what I'm doing, and not only that, just bring joy to other people while being super involved with the community.
That's such a great intention to like put out for like a job, like just be joyful. Like that's
100%.
so nice.
And when I thought about it, I'm like, well, what did I do when I was a kid? And my dad and my mom, they brought me to Sting games pretty much my entire
Sting
life.
games were lit back then.
Right? It was
they
an
were
event.
Everybody was there.
100%.
And just screaming and cheering. I remember the clappers. I remember like in high school too, that's where you went to go hang out. Like so you could walk around, kiss boys on the stairs.
Throw gobstoppers at the boys.
Yeah, oh my
I didn't do
God.
any of that though.
Oh, me
Never.
either.
So yeah, I decided, okay, I think I'm gonna work for the Sting.
Yeah,
And
that's so cool.
I cruised on their website and I'm like, okay, well, I've done the whole usher thing. That was my first job. And they had game day host posted. It was an old post, but I said to myself, why not?
Yeah, gotta trust
And
that gut.
I went for it, and oddly enough, someone was about to go on a mat leave.
Oh, cool.
So it
Good for
happened
them. Yeah, I
so
know.
fast. It was like truly a manifestation moment. It was like,
Hey.
like this was meant to happen.
And the universe will bring it to you.
It was very interesting. Like I remember my first couple games. My first ever game was the teddy bear toss.
What? That's big. That's huge.
It was big. I was nervous, and somehow I'm here. I'm still here. Like I love it.
Yeah.
It was the challenge that I didn't know that I needed.
Oh, that's so nice. Why was it the challenge that you needed?
I
don't know why what I just mumbled.
That's fine. I feel like I understood perfectly. So I think like in elementary school, high school, like I was always very self-conscious. You know, I never stood up straight. Like I was always like hunched over, not too self-aware and just kind of anxious all the time. But back then, like we didn't know what that meant.
No, you had no idea.
No
like,
idea.
Especially because like because I'm 26 and if you're 31, like that's even like worse because like I feel like no one talked about mental health at all.
Right?
Like when I got into high school, it was just starting to be talked about. But then in your age, because my sister's the same age as you, not even a word. Like if you were anxious, you were fucked up. you are a problem. And
Right?
that's really messed up.
And like we had flip phones in
Yeah.
like
Oh my
grade
God.
10 or grade
the
11.
slide up Wednesday, the press like 3 times to get a certain letter.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a big deal for me to step out of my comfort zone and then to be on the microphone, which is something that I'd never done before. But
Yeah.
I think that I'm in an environment where I feel safe.
That's good.
It is a safe place for me, and I just had the proper support. Matt McNeil was the main host at the time, so he really coached me, and he's a radio guy.
Aw.
So like it was the best of both worlds. Like
Yeah.
I had a great environment, I had a great coach, and
Yeah.
then magic happened.
Hey, that's how it does
Yeah.
happen, though. Because I was an in-game host for York University, so I did all the varsity athletics games, and I started out as the mascot. And I love being a mascot. Like, if Sting's
heck
ever
yeah.
hiring, please tell me, because I would jump in that suit. I'll be a bee. Absolutely, I'll be a bee.
Sometimes they need people.
They do. They do need people.
I would love to do it for one night.
Yeah, just tell me and I will come. I don't even have to get paid. I'll volunteer my time. You heard that here, Sting. But doing in-game hosting, what I hated, I don't know how you feel, is that anytime I had to be on script, I felt like so anxious, so out of control. I did not like it, but as soon as I was told I could just free range it and just do what I needed to do, I felt way better about it. Is that part of your discomfort when you're on there, to having to follow a script?
Sometimes having the same script every game is a bit of a challenge. And you have to make sure, because these are paid promotions, that you're
Yeah.
hitting those lines. And I
Absolutely.
didn't write the script. And sometimes like the company wrote the script.
Yeah.
So it might not work as well, but during the intermissions, that's when we can kind of break free from the script. You can definitely look down, read your like the rules of the game, and that's fine. But no, like the ad-libbing is super fun, but that was my big challenge at first.
That's what I was going to say. If you
It's
found a
challenging.
challenge in it, because I had the theater background, so I felt very different about
Yeah.
it. But then having to ad-lib, having to be entertaining, having basically like the whole arena watching you, everybody's eyes are on you, like that's really stress-inducing. So what do you do to make sure that you don't crack under the pressure?
So this is really funny and maybe embarrassing.
Yeah, hey, that's
But when
okay.
I first started, my friend Natasha, bless her, for my birthday, she got me this really cute necklace with 3 lava beads. This is crazy. So I would put lavender essential oil on that.
Yeah.
And if I was super nervous, I would just sniff it.
That's not weird or
It
embarrassing.
is. I'm basically huffing lavender. Like,
I'm sniffing glue, bruh. I'm out here sniffing glue.
but
No,
it
don't.
worked. And I'm super into like holistic,
Yeah.
like all natural products. And it worked. And then eventually it just kind of wore off. And I think there's something to be said about speaking to a big crowd like that. Like I do better with that than I do in a room of like 30 to 50 people.
Retweet on that one. I hate, like,
my
right
God.
now even, I'm just like, ha ha ha, camera's on.
I'm like, do I have stress hives right now?
Yeah, exactly. Do I have like my rosacea coming through? I probably,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, absolutely. I think being in front of a bigger crowd, I don't know why that is though, at all. I have no idea.
You go somewhere else.
Yeah, you just
like,
kinda
am I
like-
channeling right now?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like spirits come talk through me and I will black out and I won't even know what I did. And
I'll
that's,
do it.
that's great. And I will be pretty while I do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's so cool though. I actually think the lavender scent's like pretty smart, to be fair. Like, because I feel like scents really ground you. Like smelling salts bring people like out of like comas sometimes and all that kind of
so true.
stuff. So I feel like that's actually like really intelligent of you to like have that as a like, because that's not how I do it.
Those sensory things. We
Yeah,
need them.
yeah.
Even like chewing mint gum before an exam was like a big thing for me. Like I had to have it.
That's smart. I used to eat 3 packs of Mentos every exam.
Holy.
Just stress eating. And that had Monster too. I'm like, what am I doing to my body? I'm just like putting it through stress, but I don't do that anymore, obviously.
Like
so
seeking
it's okay.
calm, but then the energy drink's just like taking you up here.
Yeah, exactly. It like makes my brain work faster. Not actually though. Not a medical professional. Please don't take my advice.
Don't take mine either.
Yeah, no. Yours is way better than mine. Yours is way better. So have you like always just been like really intelligent with the way that you like approach things? Or is this like through spirituality you found like kind of the cheat code?
That's a really great question. I think like, and this is gonna just happen and probably come up more in this interview, but music.
Oh, man.
I think expanded my mind, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, but I processed a lot of my emotions alone as a kid, like bullying and all that stuff. Like you don't want to tell your parents because they're gonna call the school and then make it a bigger thing than it needs to be, or maybe
Absolutely.
maybe it should have been in some
Yeah.
situations. But I think back and like I always process things alone. And I would write a lot. I think back then it was like MySpace, Pixo, and like
MySpace.
Live Journal.
Yeah.
And I look back on my Live Journal not long ago and I was like, man, was I just a really sad kid and I hid it well? But
angsty.
totally. Like The Rocket Summer is my favorite artist of all time.
Oh,
That's
Rocket
like super emo back in the day. But I followed him since 2006, 2007.
Oh, wow.
But like he is someone that I've always clung to. So his music has really
look that
helped
up.
me, definitely. Yeah, music, thinking. I don't want to say like going to a Catholic school, but maybe just being around spirituality in a sense. But when I found spirituality, I think it was in college in 2014. It was my last year. I was in event management. And I would be waking up at 444, and I'd be like, what does this mean?
That's an angel number.
Yeah. So I would look this up, and I'd be like, okay, like I'm on the right path. Like,
yeah.
Cool. And then throughout my life, I went to see a psychic, and then that was a very cool experience. And then
Still
she
need
kind
to do
of,
that.
yes,
I messaged her.
Good.
Yeah.
Michelle is amazing.
Michelle.
I don't know.
Michelle, answer me, please.
Yes, speak it into existence.
Speak it into existence.
But Michelle was like, your grandmother reads tea leaves. And I'm like, well, you don't know me, so obviously she knows what's up.
That's so cool.
And unfortunately, she's passed, but I've always felt that she looks over me. And she's like, you should really look into more holistic healing methods, whether it's like access bars or Reiki. And I was like, Reiki.
Reiki's top tier. Like, Reiki is
right?
awesome.
So the next year for my birthday, my best friend, Elise, she got me a Reiki session with someone named Fiona Drennan, who does not live here anymore. But when I went for that session, I couldn't believe how much I got out of it.
Yeah.
Like I was really in tune with myself, my body, like everything, and I loved every single part of it. And then I decided, okay, I want to do this.
Yeah.
So I did that with Julie Johnston.
Oh, cool.
And she is one of my favorite people of all time.
That's amazing.
She's out on London Line in a building that's called Sarnia Holistic Partners.
Yeah, I've seen that when I drive by to get global donuts and all that fun stuff.
So I don't know if it was during COVID that I finished my Reiki level 1 and 2, but I also took meditation, different courses, I guess you could say, through Julie. And then last September, I completed my Reiki Masters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's incredible.
Thank you.
I think that's so incredible to do and such a gift to give. So like my
Totally.
grandparents do it, so I do my Reiki sessions with them.
I love that.
They're out in Wallsburg though.
Okay.
And they're like their business was called Down to Earth. And my first Reiki session was after like a really traumatic experience, and like they literally told me exactly where all the stress was in my body and why, and here's this. They told me that like spirits were coming and like animals were around me, and I'm like, that is just insane and so cool to experience that. So is that your experience as a Reiki like healer? Do you see things? Like, how do you channel?
So the system that we learned through was the Usui system, so it's Japanese.
Oh, cool.
But it did start with the chakra system. I think everyone does that. So
Yeah.
also hands-on healing. But the biggest thing is just being a clear channel for someone else's healing. There are Reiki masters that are super visual. I don't often get like... I don't see things, but I see color.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So a validation for me is if I'm starting to see like violet, I'm like, okay, I can move on to the next chakra
Yeah, you
and
see, like,
keep
the
working.
wave.
But you really feel it like in your body. I was working on one of my friends one day, and the day of, I just had this terrible migraine all day, and I didn't know why. I didn't take anything for it because
Migraines are ass,
I
man. I
don't
hate
like
them.
to take anything. But then we got to our Reiki session later in the evening, and I'm like, dude, you're all in your head. Like, your crown chakra is, like, making me want to throw up. Like, your third eye, like, you're way too much in your head. Like, spread that energy throughout your
Did she
body.
know you had a migraine?
He
Oh, sorry.
yeah, I told him. I was like, dude, I've had a migraine because of this all day. Like, I'm finally understanding why.
Wow.
It was so crazy. But it all made sense when he showed up on my table, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
I've had that
that's really
happen.
Had it happen to
I
me.
got a migraine.
I got a migraine and I was healed.
Yeah,
that's
like you
actually so
feel
cool.
people's pain, and you feel
Yeah.
things for sure.
Absolutely.
It's magical.
Yeah. Do you have a chakra that's always out, or like one that you always have to work on?
Lately, I would say solar plexus.
Solar plexus.
Lots
wow.
of like energy flowing right here.
Yeah.
We just had sound therapy at the center earlier.
Oh, so cool.
And I just had my hands here the whole session, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, we're gonna let this go.
Yeah.
Just like that anxiety swirling
Absolutely.
out of control.
What is this? I forget what the solar plexus like it represents. I like kind of forget what all of them represent. I know where they are, but I kind of forget.
So if we start at the top, I feel like this is good practice for me because I need to start with my practice.
Yeah,
but if
practicing
we go
time.
to the top, like your crown chakra,
Yeah.
that's like your spirituality, your sense of knowing, or like Christ consciousness,
Ah.
I guess you could say.
Connection.
Yes, and then third eye is,
Yeah.
again, tapped into your spirituality.
Yeah.
Being aware, like being aware not only of yourself, but of others, the world around you, like really caring.
I always say third eye is like the OG woke.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that it's unfortunate because that word, it would be so easy to say that word. Now I'm like, I don't even want to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Throat chakra, communication. And, you have to be able to
You wanna know what's
speak
hilarious?
your truth.
You know what's hilarious? That's one that's always out for me. Every single Reiki. I know, and I talk so much.
I'm shocked.
I talk bare shit. But I'm out here and my throat chakra is always out. Like it's always like you're not saying what you need to say. You're not doing this. You're not. And I'm like, It's true though, because I don't speak my mind as freely as others think I do. With my friends, like us and like everyone else, I do. But
Yeah.
with my family, I have a really hard time with it. Not so much like my mom and my sisters, but like my relationship with my dad was really hard for that. And so I feel like my throat chakra was always out because of that. Because I'm just always like, no, you don't want to start a fight. No, you want to keep peace. Like, and it's like I always have tense like throat, which is
Mine
very
was.
weird to say.
Mine was really bad for a long time, and I think the last couple of years I worked on it, just really speaking my truth, but also learning to speak up for myself.
Yeah,
like
that's hard.
really hard to do. I still struggle with it here and there, but I think it's so important to really communicate your needs, and like asking for help is definitely not a sign of weakness.
No.
It is a sign of strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then heart chakra, solar plexus, like that's all relationships and just feeling at ease and like in your own body, in your own skin, like
That's a hard one to accomplish though.
Sure
That one's difficult. I feel like that one's probably always out for me too.
And then if we move on, then there's also the root, so like feeling at home, feeling your purpose, your reason why, like
Yeah.
and if you have a blockage here,
Yeah.
then everything down here is lower. So
Yeah.
you have to learn how to balance those, balance.
Yeah, Libra.
Libra energy. Yeah.
That's awesome though. Thank you for sharing that. And like I think what I really picked up on was when like you said like it's hard to stand up for yourself. I feel like I don't know about you, but like as a young woman, I feel like there was a lot of pressure to like be almost palatable in spaces and making sure that I was like a bite size as opposed to like who I authentically am. Like in
Totally.
high school, I did not get along with like a lot of people just because I didn't hold back from like who I was and who I wanted to be. But from your experience, like growing up, because I know like you said you struggled with anxiety and stuff, did you feel that pressure too as a young woman?
Absolutely, I did. But I look back at myself in high school and I still see like I was still being myself.
Aw,
but
that's
where
so
I
nice.
really struggled, I think, is just coming home after college and not forming those deeper connections with people in Sarnia right away. Like, you're coming back, things have changed, you're trying to meet new people, trying to get out there and on a spiritual journey. Like, okay, I've learned to drop my ego,
Yeah.
but not everyone can walk the walk and talk the
Oh
talk.
my
Like,
God,
I just
yeah.
feel, sometimes I would feel like such an alien or like an outcast.
Absolutely. We talked about that last time we met up.
Yeah.
I feel like an alien too. I feel like I am out here with like 3 fingers and like 4 eyes and just like walking around like I don't fit in.
I think it's unfortunate, but people don't take their conversations to a deeper, more meaningful level because that involves opening up and being vulnerable and sometimes when we go through trauma, like connecting with other people that have gone through similar trauma is super helpful and super beneficial.
Absolutely.
And picks you up. Like
Yeah.
that's what I've needed. I mean, connecting about topics like abuse or just heartbreak, like those things are very real, and owning it, like own those emotions, sit with them, feel them, talk about them. Like I think that there's power in that.
Oh, and it's so universal. Like whether like you're in the binary, outside of the binary, it doesn't matter who you are. Like everyone experiences some form of heartbreak. Everyone experiences some form of like toxic behaviors that they need to get away from.
Totally.
Like whether it's in a workplace, a relationship, friendship, family. It's like as a human, it's very hard to avoid like any of those things.
It's totally hard. And like I think, excuse me, in my workplace, if I go back to when I worked at Needham's Marine.
Like what do you do for a living?
Oh, yeah. Well, I will start with where I went as soon as I came back from school. I worked at the Source. I was selling phones, and like we all had those jobs.
Technology.
Yes,
Whoa.
which is so weird because I feel like I'm terrible with technology. But I was at the Source for a bit, and then my cousin John called me and was like, hey, I would love to have you on my team. The parts and service manager is leaving. Ooh. And, you know, I was like, oh, full-time job, let's go, let's do this. And he's like, I would love to have your marketing skills.
So you were like Leslie Knope.
Who's that?
What?
Am I embarrassing myself?
Hollie!
I don't.
No, it's Parks and Rec. It's a show. Okay. Don't worry. It's sitcom. It's great. It's got way too many jokes about Indigenous people, but if you look at the satiric value, it's a pretty good show.
See, the problem with me is I just would watch The Challenge on MTV all the time.
The Challenge though, that's crazy. I love that show. That show is so good.
It's my favorite.
I'm sorry, not to derail you. So
totally fine.
Hollie was Leslie Knope of Sarnia.
Thank you. So yes, I was the parts and service manager at Needham's, warranty, marketing, wore all these hats, did all these cool things. But then it felt stagnant. Like I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't really being my authentic self.
Yeah,
what
that's
was
hard.
my reason why? Well, at first I wanted to come into the marine industry, and I didn't know that I would struggle with sexism and learning all these engine parts, and I had to prove myself and fight for it every day and just fight for the respect of these men with money.
That's hard though.
And I did that, and I was like, okay, well, I need to move on, and I need to be doing something more fulfilling where I'm still in the community and helping, because I'm a healer, I'm an empath, I'm all those good things, all those things. But I need to jump into that.
Yeah.
So then I found myself looking for other jobs. I landed another nonprofit job, but I really struggled there with sexism. So I left, and I ended up at the Sexual Assault Survivor Center in marketing.
Oh, which is phenomenal.
And I'm like, finally a job in my field.
Yeah, and such a great resource for people. Like,
absolutely.
I feel like a lot of people in Sarnia don't know we have a Sexual Assault Survivor Center, and that like breaks my heart because like again, that's one of the things like whether you have sexual harassment, sexual assault, like any of those like can fall under the umbrella of that. I think a lot of people experience, like regardless of who you are in this world.
Yep.
And it's good to know that Sarnia has that type of support.
Absolutely, and the people there. All the women that work there are just amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Like I have never connected that quickly with so many people. I'm so blessed to be there. I love it so much, and we'll be doing lots of fundraising in the next little while, and we have a rebrand that's happening, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
So it won't be the Sexual Assault Survivor Center. We will have a brand new name.
Oh, cool. I didn't know you guys were going to a new name.
Feels better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people get like jarring from the name, I think, just because it's like, oh wow, that took me back a little bit. But that's what it is. Like, and I think survivors need a place that they can identify easily.
Exactly.
So I'm excited to see what the name is.
I am too. I think probably this winter we'll start seeing some things.
That's
I can't wait.
That's very, very exciting. So through your line of work, like has it like allowed you to be more of your authentic self then?
Definitely. And that's something I'm so happy about. It feels like I filtered myself for so long, and now it's like, okay, you're finally here and you can be who you've always wanted to be, and you don't have to worry what people think.
That's
like,
nice.
This is me, you take it or leave it.
I always feel like that moment is like when Harry Potter drops the invisibility cloak and it's like, haha, I'm a wizard, you know?
Oh, you're a wizard, Hollie.
I'm a wizard. But yeah, no, that's actually amazing though. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So what's next on your horizon?
I need to start my Reiki practice. I told myself I would definitely start it when I turned 31, and I just turned 31 yesterday. My goal was to post, but I was out celebrating the night before, and everything went down the drain.
Absolutely.
And then you have imposter syndrome knocking at your door, and you're like,
that's
who am
a big
I?
one. Like, let's unpack that. Imposter syndrome is probably one of the worst ones for me. Like, I still deal with it every single day of my life, and every single aspect of my life too. For you, why do you feel like that like is activated within you?
I think that sometimes influencers and their intentions online, they just disappear. But like, I need to be very clear in my intention. And I am authentic, and I want to be as genuine as possible. I don't want it to be for money either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure that at first I'll go, come to me for services. Like, no, I don't think it's about that yet. But if I did have people that needed services and they wanted to, I would be there for that. Like, it's truly not about the money. It is just about healing and speaking my truth and maybe talking about my journey just through work, through anything, just getting to that point in my spirituality, talking through traumas and talking through mental health and just going there.
So is the money aspect what causes imposter syndrome for you?
I think it's just the comparing to other people online. And then you see a lot of people that maybe don't have the same credentials or they don't have the same intentions, and they're talking a big game, but like, how much of it is real? And then I'm like, how am I supposed to am I supposed to jump into this now with someone that really does care? Like, how do I level up, or how do I measure up?
That's so fair.
It's hard. Because I'm definitely coming from a good place, but I guess this is all fear-based, and the whole point of Reiki is to drop the ego and not be living in fear.
It's hard to drop ego sometimes, though, especially when you get activated or triggered. It's just like, oh my God, especially by people who aren't authentic, and you fought to be authentic. You have to fight for it. It's not something that comes easy, unfortunately, nowadays.
And not everyone can go there with you.
No.
You leave relationships, friendships, some family members behind on these journeys. Like, it's a very lonely journey sometimes.
Absolutely. For me with imposter syndrome, I am under the impression that I am a bad person and that I don't deserve anything good. That's what I'm dealing with, and I fight that every day. But that's because I had narcissistic abuse from a parent when I was really young, and all the way up until about like a year ago. And so for me, it's like finally stepping away from that relationship. So I never really had the experience of people being there for me, and now I work at Rebound, which is phenomenal, and I love it, and I love the people. And it's like, for once, I actually have people like supporting me, and I'm like, wow. How
this
interesting.
Is what it's like.
Nice. Okay. Like, so I feel like it's lessening as the days go on, but it's not as bad.
I definitely relate to that. It's like, once you go there, you can't go back.
No.
Like, once you've gone there and really expressed yourself, you know.
Well, I'm happy you
That's
found
who
your
you
voice,
are.
and I'm happy you expressed yourself, because we wouldn't have known each other if we didn't. So that's amazing. Before we go, last question. We're going to wrap up. What is the best piece of advice you could give to everyone watching?
I think that when you seek discomfort, sometimes in life, that is where the magic truly happens. So saying yes when maybe you wouldn't have said no, or when you would have said no. Here I am butchering my own last words.
Hey, that's okay. You know what?
Yeah.
It's not etched in. It's all good. Etch a sketch it. Start from the top.
Another great one, to bring it back to music. New song from the Rocket Summer called Disco in Circles, or Dancing in Circles, one of them. What is it? I'm not supposed to know, so I dance in the unknown.
Ooh, that's fire. That's really good.
So just, no matter what it is, what's happening, you don't have to know the future. Just be present and dance now.
Wow. That's like a mic drop.
Thank you.
I don't even have to say anything further.
Bryce Avery, he was nominated for 4 Grammys, and I cried.
He should be.
He is amazing.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I
Thank you
really
for having
enjoyed
me.
having you. It was so nice, and happy birthday.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
Happy birthday to you.
Libra season.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, I won't do the whole thing, but have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.